I swear to God, I just heard a knock. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new to my channel, hello, my name is Gabby and welcome to my strange little YouTube channel. Today I have another paranormal story time for you guys, one that I was not planning to do for two reasons. The main one is because I hate telling stories that happen to other people, and most of these stories that I'm telling in today's video did happen to someone else besides myself, and I would rather you guys hear it from the person directly, but a lot of people are not comfortable getting on camera and it being filmed and uploaded on a website for thousands upon thousands of people to see, which is completely understandable. And the second reason is because I currently live in the house that all this takes place in, and if you know anything about the paranormal, you know the more that you talk about it, the more that you feed into it, the more likely it is for something to happen. There have been many times that I've done paranormal videos, and during the video and after, strange things have occurred, and I'm sure a lot of YouTubers can agree with that. The more that you focus on something, the energy can kind of pick up that you're focusing on it. This is not very uncommon, so hopefully nothing else happens. Knock on wood. So the first stories that I'm going to be sharing with you guys happened to me, myself, and they happened here in the house that I'm currently living in, which is my boyfriend's childhood home. And we started dating around June of 2016. Our date is July 8th, 2016, so we first started really hanging out in June. The very first night that I stayed here, something strange happened, and this was right when I was falling in love with my boyfriend, so I didn't want to be like, hey, do you believe in the paranormal? Because something weird happened. So my boyfriend lives on the bottom floor of his house. It's a 3-story house here in Yonkers, New York. And on the bottom floor, you walk in and there's a long hallway, and there's the front bedroom and the back bedroom. And there's a back room that has like storage and stuff. So I'm currently here in the front bedroom, and this story takes place in the back bedroom. Just a small little thing happened, but it was the day after I spent my first night here, and I was on the bed and he was upstairs, and I was kind of scrabbling around to find my shoes and my purse and stuff while sitting on the bed. So I was leaned down, and while I was leaned down, out of the corner of my eye, I saw something move, and it was the door. And I looked up and I could see the door move about 5 inches, and then it closed 5 inches, and then it moved back 5 inches and closed 5 inches. This happened like 3 to 4 times, and right in front of my eyes, I'm watching it do this, and I'm like, what? So I looked up to look and see if the window was open. It wasn't, and there's no windows in the hallway. I don't know. It was just a weird little occurrence that happened the very first night that I stayed here. As the weeks went on of me staying in my boyfriend's home, a bunch of weird things happened, but they were like things that it could be paranormal, it could not be paranormal. Even though I believe in the paranormal, I don't think everything is the paranormal. This one instance, me and my boyfriend were in the kitchen on the middle floor, and we were gonna let his dog out, and his dog ran upstairs, and about 2 seconds later we're calling for him. His name is Major, and we're like, Major, and he wasn't coming. And sometimes he doesn't listen, but most of the time if you call him, he does listen because he thinks he's going outside or he thinks he's getting a treat. So this was really weird that he didn't come. So I went upstairs, and when you get to the top of the stairs, there's the bathroom, there's his sister's room, and then his mother's room. And his mother's room and the bathroom were open. So I looked in his mother's room, the dog wasn't in there. I looked in the bathroom, the dog wasn't there. And I went downstairs, and I'm like, he's not upstairs. And he's like, yes, he just ran upstairs, like go check again. So we went upstairs, and we decided to look in his sister's room, even though the sister's room was closed. And we looked in there, and Major was in there, and he was underneath the bed, and he was terrified. So this was just a weird little thing that happened because her window was not open either. I don't know how the door got shut within just a few seconds of him being upstairs. I don't know. There was also a time that I was in the kitchen and I heard somebody kind of whistle up to what I thought was them calling the dog, because sometimes Matt will call up the stairs and he'll kind of like whistle, or his neighbor will come in and whistle for the dog to bring the dog outside to play with his dog. So I knew I was home alone, and I looked downstairs after I heard this like whistle, and I was going to tell the person, whoever was downstairs, that the dog was outside at the time, and I looked downstairs and nobody was downstairs. So these were just some strange things that happened here in this home that I experienced myself. Now, when me and my boyfriend first started dating, I didn't really bring up anything about the paranormal, even though it's a main topic that I am interested in. I didn't really bring it up because I didn't know what his opinion of it was, but we started talking about it, and he made it clear that he wasn't really too interested in it, but he had a few things happen to him that made him wonder. This story that I'm sharing with you right now, he did not want me to share in this video, but it's creepy and I feel like it deserves to be in a video. He said that when he was in about maybe early high school, maybe like 9th grade or 10th grade, he said that he was sleeping in his front bedroom. It's weird that my boyfriend has 2 bedrooms, but like he does. And he was sleeping in the front bedroom, and he woke up in the middle of the night and he heard going down the hallway. You guys are probably gonna be like, oh, footsteps. He swears that he heard galloping coming down the hallway. And he said that he was facing the wall, and this freaked him out. And he could move, but he like was kind of frozen with fear. And he said that he heard somebody come into his room and he felt an imprint on the bed. And in that second, he rolled over and looked, and there was nobody there. And this story gave me absolute chills when he told me. And he said that he told a lot of people, and that they said that it may have been sleep paralysis. And he said that he thought at first that it could have been, but when he started researching into it, sleep paralysis, you can't move. And he said he was 100% capable of moving, so he does believe that it was some sort of entity. I don't know, it just freaks me out. And I'm in the front bedroom now, so if I hear galloping coming down the hallway, I may actually throw up on camera. A little bit of time goes by and my boyfriend was actually talking to his dad. So he was at his dad's house and he was talking about the strange things that have been happening in the home. And his dad, he was like in the military. He's a very straightforward person. I mean, if you tell him anything weird, he probably would be like, nah, like, you know, that's explainable. But he said that he actually had something very weird happen in this home himself years and years ago. Now, in the master bedroom, there's the bed, and then there's a door right here, and across from this door is the little bit of hallway, and there's the bathroom door right across from the doorway to the master bedroom. So he was in bed and he was looking straight forward, and there was the TV in front and then a mirror. So in that mirror you could see what was behind you, which was the doorway and the hallway and the other door to the bathroom. So he said that he was laying in bed and he was watching TV, which was in front of him, and then there's the mirror, and in the mirror you could see the light coming from the hallway. And so he's watching TV and all of a sudden it goes dim. So he looks up from the TV and looks to the mirror and he can see exactly what's behind him. And he said that he saw a dark figure standing in the doorway. And he froze. And obviously, being the man of the house, your first response would be like, I have to protect my family. And he knew that whatever this was, it wasn't human. So he kind of froze and he looked back at the TV and he looked back up and it was still there. And he looked back at the TV, looked back up, it was still there, looked back at the TV, and then it lit up again, the room, and the thing was gone. I definitely believe this story 100% because His dad is definitely not the person to lie about anything, and he said that he's never had anything like this happen before. And then with the stories that I'm going to tell you next in this video, it kind of makes sense. So in early of 2017, we had a party, and so we were consuming alcohol, and as the hours went by in the night, everybody left and we were kind of coming down from our drunkenness, and me and my boyfriend were in his back room, and his sister was awake at the time, so he texted his sister and he said, you know, come down, like chill with us, we'll bullshit for a while and we'll just like talk. So she came downstairs and we were talking, and of course the topic of the paranormal comes up, and she had some very weird stories herself. She said that one of her earliest memories was when her and my boyfriend, they used to share a room when they were younger. And she said that Matt would be out cold, and that's how he is, like he knocks out. And she said that he was out cold and she would be awoken all the time by these orbs flying around her room. And she said that they looked like not foggy or bright, they looked like electricity, like flying around her room. And she said this would happen quite often, and then it just stopped. She said that years and years went by and nothing would really happen. And when she was a teenager, one time she was home by herself and she went to let their dog out. They had a Rottweiler named Daisy. I never got the privilege of meeting this dog. She passed away in 2015, but they had her for 15 years and she was a big dog and she was not scared of anything. She said that she let the dog out and she went to the garage, because in their garage they have a fridge. It's kind of like a chill garage with storage and stuff. And she said she went into the garage to go get a water out of the refrigerator. And she said she heard a man's voice next to the garage, what sounded like right outside the garage, scream, "Daisy." And she said that their dog Daisy flew into the garage full force, all her hair standing up on end and freaking out. She was scared to death, and she rushed outside and she went to go see who it was, and nobody was there. But that's the thing about this dog, is that she was not afraid of anybody. Like, she was a barker. Like, if she didn't know you, you came on the property, even if she knew you and you came on the property, she would bark, because that's just how she was. She was so protective of their family, and for her to be scared, it had to have been something like not human. Another big factor is that if you were outside next to the garage, there's only 2 ways to get out of the yard, and one of those is hopping the fence, which I think it would be hard to run over to the fence and hop it without somebody seeing you in those like 2 seconds, or going through the gate, which their gate is huge and it makes a lot of noise. So I don't know. Now, one thing about his sister, and I'm not trying to like put too much information out on the internet, but she always sleeps in the living room, like always. And I kind of never understood why. I was always like, you know, like she has a room, you know, like why doesn't she sleep in her room? And I asked Matt that, and he asked her like, why don't you ever sleep in your room? Because we always have to go upstairs and like be super quiet because she's sleeping in the living room. And which I'm totally fine with, but I was just like curious. And he asked her, and she told him it's because she is afraid to sleep in her room. She told him, without knowing his dad's story, she said that many times when she's sleeping in her room, she'll wake up in the middle of the night and she'll look into the hallway and her door will be open, and she will see an old lady in all black standing in her doorway, just staring at her while she sleeps. And she says that she's able to move, and sometimes she will duck under the covers and look up and she'll be gone. And sometimes she'll just look at her. Now, Matt's sister is one who is like not afraid of anything. So this is very much like her, that she would just like stare this thing down, and she says that she'll just stare at it and within a blink it'll be gone. I believe wholeheartedly that the house that I currently reside in, that there is something very negative here. And it's not just because of the paranormal aspects of it. Everybody who has lived in this house, I'm not trying to give out too much information, but everybody has dealt with severe depression. And for a long time living here, I was in such a dark place. A very dark place. I could barely make videos. I had no energy at all. And mentally, I was just not okay. And I ended up going home and living back at my house for a few months, and I came back and I feel a lot better, and the house doesn't feel as negative, but I think that's something is here, and I think whatever it is, I think it has some sort of fascination with Matt's sister. And that really does scare me, and I'm being honest, like on my channel 100%, like me and my boyfriend are planning on moving out and getting our own place, and I'm actually kind of scared that something will follow us. I took a short break from YouTube for about 3 weeks because it was my birthday month and I had a little mini vacation visiting some family in Florida, and there was one weird incident that happened when we were in Florida. We were staying at my uncle and aunt's home, and they live right outside Orlando, Florida, and in their home they have had nothing paranormal happen, and when we were there we think something did happen. So one day I decided to go sit outside. I was just like going outside by myself to chill on the porch. It wasn't too hot out. So going outside, there's a huge sliding glass door, and to lock this door there's a big lock on top that you have to like push up. It's like this little lever and you have to push it up, and that's how you lock the big sliding glass door to go outside. So I went outside and I heard, after like a minute of sitting outside, like the rattling of the metal like on the sliding glass door. So I looked up, I thought somebody was coming out, and nobody came out, and I was like, okay. And about a minute later, my uncle comes out and he's like, that's really weird. And I'm like, what? He's like, you were locked out here. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, I had to unlock the door to come outside. I'm like, did somebody lock me out? And he's like, nobody came in the living room. Like, I had to pass my uncle to go outside. He was the only person in the living room, and this was only 3 minutes later. And he's like, nobody came through the living room. He's like, I was sitting right there watching TV, and he asked everybody in the home. Nobody locked the door, and this thing is hard to lock, and you have to be tall enough to lock it too. So yeah, something locked me outside when I was in Florida. There's no explanation for that at all. It's never happened before in their home. So yeah, I'm pretty sure something followed us down there. So those are my paranormal stories for the day. Those are the weird things that have been happening, and I don't feel like I'm in danger. Like, I don't feel like something horrible is gonna happen. I don't get that vibe, but those are the things that have been happening and have happened in this home. While we were in Florida though, Matt did talk to his uncle who lives down there, and he told him just through conversation that he thinks that there's something in this house, and his uncle who grew up in this house also agreed and was like, oh, I know for a fact there's something in that house and it's not good. So that's reassuring, because we have to live here for who knows how much longer. I hope you guys enjoyed those stories though. I really want to get some of my family and friends and stuff on camera to tell their stories directly, because I feel like that would be so much better. I hope that you guys enjoyed those stories though, and if you're not already, make sure to subscribe and make sure to like and comment, because it helps your girl out. Put a little ghost emoji down in the comments or something. I read every single comment. Also, a huge hello to all my new subscribers. I gained quite a few during my little hiatus, so hi to you guys. And I have a bunch of content coming up in the near future. I love you guys so much, and we'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys. Also, a huge thank you and shout out to all my patrons. Thank you so much for the support. It means the absolute world to me.